Your Excellency, many people have already said why we are celebrating Labor Day. To honor workers, celebrate their contributions, advocate for fair labor practices. Your Excellency, our labor force remains the backbone of our economy. Therefore, today we are recognizing the importance of promoting and protecting the rights of workers. We are assessing the challenges we continue to face, opportunities that lies ahead, and recommitting ourselves to ensuring that we enforce employment practices that enhance productive employment. Your Excellency, I want to just give a slight characterization of our labor force. Our labor force is predominantly composed of young population, constituting 73%, who are under the age of 30, according to the Uganda Bureau of Standards 2024 census. This youthful population, Your Excellency, presents immense opportunity to build a dynamic, productive labor force. The international community defines the working population to be those between 14 years to 64 years. So when we talk about child labor, children 14 years are allowed to undertake some kind of labor. It is those that are below 14 that if they undertake employment that are not commensurate to training them is termed as child labor. So the working population age is 14 to 64, Your Excellency. And in Uganda, this category 14 to 64 is composed of 25.155 million Ugandans, representing 56.7% of our population. There are more females, 13.8272 is the population of women, 13,872,000 are the women population that are in the working categories, while the males in the working categories are 11,282,000. In terms of categories and wage and employment, 32.9% of the employees are earning formal wages out of formal employment. I'm sure a majority of you seated here are employed in the formal sector with a contract with terms and conditions. You seated here, you are among the 39.2%. 29.3% are self-employed. 24.5% are into family business, supporting a family business or working in a family business. 5.3% are employing themselves in their business that they have started. They employ themselves maybe as directors or MDs and also employ others. And 1.7% are into paid apprenticeship. Paid apprenticeship are those people, graduates, who come to your MDS and they are training, but you're giving them some little facilitation like transport, and they are being trained on the job. That constitutes 1.7%. Your Excellency, a significant portion of these categories of workers are engaged in informal and vulnerable employment. These vulnerable employments are things like when you are driving and coming here, you saw a lot of people selling at the roadsides. They are selling their tomatoes, they are selling their onions, they are selling their roasted cassava, roasted meats. Those are the people that are in the informal employment. And those in the informal employment are over 70% in the informal employment. Your Excellency, our unemployment rate stands at 12.3%, and according to the Population and Housing Census, a large number of the youth aged between 15 to 24 years are neither in employment or in education or in training. And these are the people, when you go to cities, you find they have created what they call jobless corners. They get up in the morning, they go to the towns, they go to the city, they don't have what to do, and they might end up being those who are stealing your phones, and you have to ensure that you are very careful. In terms of gender, women are more in the informal sector and unpaid work. And I think when you drive, you see majority of the women are the one on the roadside selling. And Your Excellency, our focus as a ministry and government is to ensure that these statistics of the people in the informal sectors are brought into the formal sector. And I am glad that several policies have been put in place and programs to address those challenges. The rollout of education and skilling under Ministry of Education, the BTVET, which are skilling people in technical work. Your own initiative, Your Excellency, of the Presidential Skilling Center, the macroeconomic policies that has attracted foreign direct investments, industrial parks and factories are promoting jobs. Your Excellency, other programs like EMIOGA, Operation Wealth Creation, Uganda Women's Entrepreneurship Program, Youth Livelihood Program, the Agricultural Facility Credit Facility Program, the skilling under the Ministry of Gender, we have Juakali that supports with tools and equipment for those who have got training from other entities. All this is to ensure that we absorb the statistics I've talked about so that they get into either self-employment or they are able to be employed by those who are getting this equipment and will employ others. We have several laws that we have put in place, and I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for assenting to the OSH, the Occupational Safety and Health Amendment Act, which we received 2 weeks ago, which is supposed to strengthen the Ministry of Gender, Department of Occupational Safety and Health, in ensuring that inspection and enforcement of safety of workers is harnessed through that laws. We have the Employment Amendment Act. On top of that, we have the Labor Dispute Arbitration Settlement Act, the Workers' Compensation Act, which deals with the issues around compensation of workers who get injured or dies or falls sick in their workplaces. The Pension Act, the NSSF Act, the Public Service Standing Orders, to mention but a few. So these laws, Your Excellency, stipulates with clarity the issue related to fair wages. And this is one of the areas that there are many challenges, the issue of wages, where many people are not being paid commensurate with what the laws stipulate. Some people are paid as low as 3,000 per day, Your Excellency. That's why sometimes when you are driving, you will find where the people are within industrial park working with a large number. So the issue of fair wages are addressed in the law: job security, safety and health, working hours, social security benefits, gratuity, maternity and paternity benefits, the right to form or join unions, the right to non-discrimination, and the right to social security. Of course, although the law exists, we still find some unscrupulous people who still do not follow the law, Your Excellency. And I'm glad that yesterday when you met us with the workers and Federation of Ugandan Employers, they explained to you the challenges of casual workers. And your guidance will help us to, in the ministry, to streamline the issue of casualization of workers. The issue of working without written contracts. Most of the workers are given oral contracts. It's even worse where most of these are subcontractors. Your Excellency, we have this practice which we will bring a cabinet paper on circumstances where established companies are now using agents to recruit for them and negotiate. The agents are the ones who negotiate the wages, and they take the employees to the companies, and when those employees get a problem, the companies say, those are not our employees. You talk to the agents. And the agents do not have the licenses to employ people, and it does not have the mandate to compensate, to treat injury, and so on. That lacuna, we will bring a paper in cabinet. The issue of safety, occupational safety and health, we have a lot of circumstances where workers are dying. I think in the last 1 month we recorded about 3-4 deaths because of lack of following stringent occupational safety and health in workplaces. There are issues of unfair termination, the issue of some of the employers rejecting the right to collective bargaining, and so they will not allow workers to form their collective bargaining association and unions within the company premises. Your Excellency, as a ministry, we are mitigating these challenges. We are enforcing labor laws. We have strengthened labor officers. We are asking local governments to recruit more labor officers, because now we have money to pay and train labor officers who are mandated to go into those workplaces, inspect them, and enforce and recommend penalties. We are also enhancing penalties, and I want to really thank the department for the enforcement of penalties. Your Excellency, enforcement of penalties on the side of NSSF has enabled NSSF to increase their collection, because enforcement, ensuring that all the workers are counted and contributions made, and if an employer does not make contribution, NSSF moves in vigorously to ensure penalties. It has enabled NSSF to move that fund from 18 trillion now to 23 trillion. And with the new regulations of voluntary contribution, I'm also glad and notify you, Your Excellency, that the amendment which you permitted, that NSSF should open up, and any Ugandans who want to voluntarily save with NSSF outside the law be permitted. The regulation was done, and in the last 2 months they have moved that contribution from voluntary savers to over 5 billion. So I want to attest that enforcement works, and we are going to ensure that we enforce on issues of externalization of labor that many Ugandans talk about. Your Excellency, this financial year we now have money to scale up recruitment and placing of labor attachees in the destination countries. Already you guided us, Your Excellency, and we had support from ESO. We have labor attache in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We are now going to have in Qatar, Jordan, UAE, and other countries. Because labor attachees are those people with knowledge And when they're in the countries where our externalized workers are, they are able to follow the complaints inside the countries, enforce labor laws, and where there is a problem, they are able to reach the ministry quickly, and we are able to respond. Your Excellency, I want to now conclude on the most important aspect of our theme, which is consolidating the gains of parish development model. And I want to attest, Your Excellency, which you know very well, that PDM has been a game changer for promoting local and rural entrepreneurship and generating employment at the grassroots. Without targeting rural and grassroots to get into employment and get into commercial agriculture, it will be difficult for us to sustain where we are moving into the middle income economy. And the data we got from the PDM Secretariat, Your Excellency, is showing that those that are now in coffee under PDM is 265,460. Those who have benefited under PDM in coffee. In other crops, 742,169. Piggery, and I know many people Ugandans are very fond of pork. In piggery, there are 280,847 producers under PDM. In poultry, there are 261,181. And in dairy production, there are 72,429. So within the period of PDM, we have seen a reduction from the previous statistics of those in the subsistence economy at 39%, and it has now reduced to 33%. So, Your Excellency, PDM continues to lift many rural people out of poverty and creating jobs. And therefore, this theme today on consolidating PDM emphasizes the need to build on the progress made that will enhance productivity and inclusive job creation.
Thank you for watching Lango News channel. Please subscribe for more updates.